Hi, I'm Dan Pancaldi of No Enemies Here Wargaming News. I'd like to wish all my American friends a happy 4th of July. And you're watching No Enemies Here Wargaming News. And here's a picture of the winner of the personalized signed copy of Dawn of the Zeds 3rd edition by Herman Lettman is Eric Burden. No, not that Eric Burden of the Animals. This Eric Burden. Legion War Games, Dien Bien Phu, The Final Gamble. And what you get with this game is a 22 by 34 inch map, 352 counters, a 24-page color rulebook, 4 player aids, and 4 scenarios. The map scale is 150 meters per hex, the unit scale, regiments and battalions, the time scale, 3 days per turn. This is a 1 to 2 player medium complexity game. Solitaire suitability, medium-high. This is a game designed by Kim Kanger. Air Raid Pearl Harbor, December 7th, 1941. This is a game designed by John J. Heim. And what you get with Air Raid Pearl Harbor, 2 22 by 34 inch maps, 528 counters, a 30-page rulebook, multiple player aids, and 5+ scenarios. The map scale is 250 yards per hex. The unit size, 8 planes or 1 ship. The time scale, 5 minutes per turn. This is a 1 to 2 player medium complexity game, and solitaire suitability is sky high. GMT Games, Storm Over Asia, prequel to A World at War, a game designed by Bruce Harper. Starting in 1935, Japan, China, Britain, and Russia prepare for war without being sure of just what is coming. And what you get with this game is approximately 840 die-cut counters, one 22 by 34 inch map, a 50-page Gathering Storm rulebook, a 30-page A World at War conversion rulebook, 24-page battle manual including historical notes, 2 scenario cards, and a lot more. Complexity is medium-low and solitaire suitability is low. No Retreat, Battles 1942. This is a game designed by Karl Paradis. In No Retreat Battles, instead of the Russian, French, Italian, Polish, Western, or African fronts, you'll get close and personal with small-scale engagements. The series will include critical battles like Iwo Jima, the capture of Berlin in 1945, Battle of the Bulge, Kasserine Pass, Kursk, Casino, Tarawa, and dozens more. And what you get with this game is 2 22 by 17 inch mounted map boards, 2 sheets of 88 square units each, 1 sheet of 128 round hex markers, a rulebook, a scenario book, player aid cards, 3 packs of 55 event cards each, and 2 6-sided dice. The time scale is 8 hours to 5 days. Map scale 1 to 5 miles per hex. The unit scale, battalion to division size units, playing time is 2 to 3 hours, and players 2 or solitaire. Academy Games, Conflict of Heroes, Storms of Steel, 1943, Kursk. Conflict of Heroes is a tactical war game of platoon-sized engagements, with each counter representing a squad of infantry, a crewed gun, or a vehicle. This game is fun, fast, easy, interactive, and big. I don't know what you get with this game yet, but knowing Uwe and his Conflict of Heroes series, you get a couple of deck of cards, some beautiful counters, and savage-looking detailed maps. That's right, savage. Clark Commando 1983 has 3 videos out, the first one being a Welcome Aboard Wargamers Old School. Then he checks out GMT's A World at War video number 1. And learn how to play the game Death Ride Kursk, Gross Deutschland, the German attack on the Kirk salient, Operation Zitadelle, July 4th to 13th, or 1943. STUKAJOE continues his coverage of the Consim World Expo with an interview with Greg M. Smith talking about his Western Front ace, and a designer interview with Steve Liskey, designer of Fallujah Fury. And Kyle Seeley checks out Paper Wars magazine, the game Belmont, Grant's Baptism of Command, issue 87.
A game for gamers, made by gamers, by Flying Pig Games.
The gentlemen of the Player's Aid are reviewing Brave Little Belgium, designed by Ryan Heilman and Dave Shaw, published by Hollenspiel. The Player's Aid are also unboxing The Last 100 Yards, published by GMT, designed by Mike Denson. Jan of Let's Play History has a couple of videos out, one on Fields of Glory 2 and a couple out on Fields of Glory Empires.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. I'm Jeff McAleer, Grand Poobah of thegaminggang.com, as well as the host of The Daily Dope, which airs live Mondays through Fridays on YouTube at 7 p.m. Central. So hopefully some of you folks are actually catching this video while you're enjoying maybe a 4-day weekend. Fingers crossed. And then again, of course, if you are a fan of No Enemies Here and you're not in the United States, then happy July. Anyway, Dan had asked me to share what's cooking on the Daily Dope next week, and I am more than happy to share that with you. On Monday, July 8th, I am actually going to unbox and take a first look at Valparaiso, which is the newest release from Stronghold Games. This was an Origins Game Fair release, so it was sold out at the show. So Stephen Bonacore sent this along for me to do a review. So we're going to take a peek at this. Looks kind of interesting, kind of an economic game set around the 16th century in Chile, I do believe. Then on Tuesday's show, I'm going to unbox and take a first look at Aeon's End. This is the core set of the cooperative fantasy deck building game. I have heard good things about this. This is from Indie Boards and Cards, so we will take a look at that on Tuesday's show. Wednesdays is War Games, so I will be unboxing and taking a first look at 1754 Conquest, the French and Indian War from Academy Games. This came out right around the same time as Vikings did for Academy, and this was sort of left behind. It didn't get as much love as it deserved, so I was asked to take a look at this. I will be taking an unboxing, taking a first look at this as well. I even have the Native American, I believe this is an expansion, this is an Alliance deck that goes with it as well. So that will be on Wednesday's show. How about some reviews? Well, on Thursday's show, I will be reviewing the Dungeons & Dragons Essential Kit box from Wizards of the Coast. And I have to admit, I'm mighty impressed with what came in this box. I did an unboxing video, and you can tell I was like, wow, hey, they've upped their game. Cool. And then on Friday, I will be reviewing Champions of Hera, which is kind of a heavy box as I try to lug it over here. And this is from my friends over at Greenbrier Games. So that is what's coming up next week on the Daily Dope. And of course, by all means, please stop by thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. Come on, you'll get to know the drill. Plus, don't forget, every time someone subscribes to the Gaming Gang YouTube channel, a baby jackalope gets its wings. Back to Dan.
Mo of Mo's Game Table is on a tear. He's unboxing Mark Herman's Peloponnesian War, published by GMT, and also Victory Roads. This is a game designed by Nicolas Ridon, published by HEXES. And Gilbert Collins has a video out on Wargame Sorting Solutions. Mitch of Soundboard is giving us an update, a status update of OCS Helper. And the scholars from Little Wars TV are reenacting an interactive Gettysburg wargame. They also have a tutorial on how we built a replica Gettysburg battlefield. USA Patriot 4163, the Patriotic Gamer presents Bar-Lev, the 1973 Arab-Israeli War, a game designed by Chris Fawcett, published by Compass Games. On Napoleon's Triumph channel, it's What's on the Table for July 2019. GIMPY of the GIMPY Gamers has a channel update and also a continuation of Fields of Fire 2 review through Part 3, designed by Ben Hall. And GIMPY's got a shellacking's worth of videos for World at War Boot Camp, from formation decks to general concepts. That's right, shellacking. Calandale has a couple of videos out, the first one being a reprise of the 4 questions that I did with him, and also a video of Victory in the West, a continuation of Operation Grenade 2, and a wrap. Counterproductive Games is doing Platoon Commander Deluxe Battle of Kursk Scenario 3. This is a game published by Flying Pig Games and designed by David K. Van Hoos. And the Itinerant Hobbyist is continuing his bolt action Von Luck campaign game.
Hey guys, Dave here. Welcome to Centurion's Review, the punk rock band of wargame review institutions. This week on our website, Len Kroll is doing a review of Siege of Jerusalem, the old Avalon Hill game. He's got the first edition of it, and he did a really nice job on the review. It's a blow-by-blow account of the entire campaign. It's really good. On our YouTube channel, we're doing a first look at Strategy and Tactics number 107, Warsaw Rising. It's about the Polish resistance in 1944 who had a revolt in Warsaw. It looks like a really interesting game, and the map looks really cool. It's got all these nice colors. It looks like you could almost frame the map and call it a work of art. The last game we're doing a first look at on our YouTube channel is Ares Magazine number 8. Ragnarok Twilight of the Gods. It's a Norse mythology-based war game. Sounds really interesting. I've heard good things about it. In addition, there's some rules in the magazine that allow you to combine Voyage of the BSM Pandora and Wreck of the BSM Pandora into like one campaign game. So that sounds pretty interesting. Look forward to seeing you guys on our website and on our YouTube channel. Have a nice holiday.
Volko here again. Lieutenant Dan is my friend, and I'm sure I'm grateful. Lieutenant Dan has asked me to talk to you today about a game called Fire in the Lake that I designed with my other friend, Mark Herman. Fire in the Lake is about insurgency in Vietnam from 1964 to 1972. And it's one of the games in the Coin series, or Counterinsurgency series, and it's one of the bigger ones in the series. And folks tell me Fire in the Lake is a bit hard to learn. And if you're not used to how the Coin games work, playing your first Coin series game is a bit hard to get going on. So what I thought I'd share with you is a neat little trick to learn how to play Fire in the Lake or any Coin game faster and teach your friends to play with you. So here goes. What is it about Fire in the Lake that might make it hard to learn? Well, look at all these pieces and look at this long skinny country and all that terrain. And you might think, well, that's an awful lot to get your hands around. But if you think about war games, there's lots of different kinds of pieces. Actually, Fire in the Lake has only 5 different kinds of pieces: troops, police, guerrillas, special forces, bases. That's it. And your side won't even have all of them. The colors just mean what players owns those pieces. So these pieces here are not your enemy in learning how to play the game. But look at this procedure. Coin series games, like Fire in the Lake, are not I go, you go. You have to follow this flowchart procedure to figure out what are you going to do next, who gets to do what. But you know, it really isn't that hard either, because there's just a player at a time making a fairly simple choice and following the arrows. And you can even have these pieces on the game board move around to show which players have done what, and it'll tell you just whose turn it is to make that simple choice. There's really no enemies here either. What is it that makes it hard to learn to play this game? Well, this is your enemy, this goober right here. This is your action menu, and when it's your turn to do something, you're going to have to choose what to do from all of these choices. And you're trying to put these different choices of operations together with all these pieces to achieve your victory condition, which is down here in the corner. So if you don't know what the items are in each of these menu dishes, you don't know what to pick and how to put them together. It's menu shock. That's what makes Coin Series hard to learn. And it's not just that, it's Chinese menu shock, because what you're doing is you're picking one from column A and putting it together one from column B, and you're supposed to put that together to somehow position yourself to win the game. And if you've learned it for one side, let's say you're the North Vietnamese, well, you're going to have to teach your friends all these different menus because every player has a different menu with some similarities. So how do you get over this Chinese menu shock? So here's the trick. In the Coin series, what happens is you're going to flip a card, you're going to flip another card, and the cards are going to have events on them and tell you in what order players have to decide what to do on this little flowchart procedure. And what are you going to do as a new player? You're going to look at the card, you're going to read the event on there, you're going to look at this awful menu, and you're going to say, well, I'm just going to play the event because look, I don't have to figure this out and risk looking dumb because I don't know what's on this menu. The event was written to be beneficial to me, and it tells me right on the card what to do. So, of course, you play the event. And what happens is new players end up playing a lot of events, and it takes them much longer to get over the hurdle of learning this menu. So instead of doing it that way, play it this way the first time you play. When you start out, all you're allowed to do is operations. That means all you're allowed to do is the simple things down column A, and you're going to follow that procedure as if that's all you're doing. It's going to be ops only right across the top, and that's what's going to happen each time you flip a card. What that means is you're going to quickly discover that this isn't really all that complicated. Just breaking down just this one column, there's rally, march, attack, and terror for the North Vietnamese. It means they can get more units, they can move them around, they can kill Americans and ARVNs, or they can try to affect the popular support in space. And that's it. And so it's going to force you to just learn that one little bit of it, and it's not going to be that bad. And that's going to be true for the other players as well. Then once you've gone through a few cards, And all you've done is these operations, and it's fair because that's all everybody's doing. Nobody gets to do the fancy stuff over here, the special activities. Then add on the special activities, and still no events. So now, having gotten a little bit familiar with column A, now you're just adding column B, which is even shorter. And anyway, doesn't always fit with every column A choice. If you pick rally, you can only pick infiltrate and bombard on this side. You can't pick ambush. So it's really not that hard once you've figured out what's going on with the operations to add an appropriate special activity to help you advance your position in the game. And then after a few cards, you're going to find everybody's kind of comfortable with their own menu. They've done a little bit on this side. Maybe you've gone around to everybody's had at least one chance to do the special activities of column B. And then you let people choose the events instead, because now they're choosing events knowing what they could actually do that might be more productive from your menu. And that's it. You'll be throwing the imperialists out of your country or pacifying South Vietnam for freedom and democracy in no time, whichever is the case. Good luck.
Games Old School Tactical Volume 3 The Pacific Theater. The game includes 4 sheets of unit, weapon, vehicle, and condition counters, a large 30 by 41 inch mounted game map, 18 luck cards, 16 scenarios, player aid cards, color rulebook, of course dice, and a massive box and a lid. Mauro FAINA and his Giannizzero podcast has episode 78, Throne of Fabio Napolitano, and episode 79, Vietnam, Rumor of War. Hollenspiel's The Mary and Tom Show, where they talk about everything plus dinosaurs, episode 81. Another week, another show. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, support this channel. Next week, we're going to have parts 1 of 2 of Professor Riccardo Masini explaining to us the series Jour de Gloire. Hey Kevin, Jour de Gloire. Alright, this is a Napoleonic series. Something, he'll tell you, what do I know? And you know what? I think I'm going to WBC. I'll see you there. Ciao. Ciao. So this is how I try to fill in my time when everybody I know is at Console World, you know, except me. Anyways, so the day starts nice, and then it gets progressively worse. Here we go. All right, well, since you guys are at Console World, we're gonna be picking mushrooms. And, oh, there's an electrified fence.
I say we go that one.
You wanna go this way?
It's shorter, so just pop over on the other side.
All right. So the reason why we're going that way is because, well, there's a bull. That's what happens on a farm. Behind me is a big pile of manure. So here we go. There's a bull over there, and if I don't make it, I think the bull is upset because we're nearing the cows and the calves. So there's Gracie and Chantal. Say hi, Chantal.
Hi.
Yeah. I can hear the cows. They're not happy. They think we're flanking them. So they're all calling out to each other. See? So this is it. We're going in. This is the forest at the end of the farm field. This is where we're gonna find mushrooms today. Or cows. It's hot. I'm in a forest. I'm checking out for cows. I'm looking for mushrooms. That's what it's all about. Well, okay, we seem to have found some mushrooms, so adios amigos. Probably wondering, like, why is he afraid of cows? I'm not afraid of cows. The cows just gave birth to calves. And there's like a 2-ton bull the size of my ex-mother-in-law, you know, guarding all these, his harem. You want to mess with that? You go right ahead. Lots of freaking bugs, mosquitoes. Lots of. That's where we are. I don't know, man. Is it just me? Every time I go into a field, I always think I'm in the Civil War or something, or in World War II, and imagine, you know, fighting the Yanks or the Rebs, or fighting the Germans, or the Italians. I'm gonna tell you. Well, we're still looking, and we found a few mushrooms. How's the gaming? And that's the first time I mention gaming. All right? Like I said, it's always drama with me. You know what I mean? Starts high, goes down. We having fun yet? Hey? Bloody hell. You know what I'm saying? Lots of mosquitoes. Right? Console World. And then I start with the self-pity. You know, I can't be a soldier. I'm too fat. Well, we just went through a raspberry field. We cut out of the forest and cut back in. And I got that, and I'll show you more, huh? Here's my leg. Yep. Bleeding and dying. I'm dying. I wish I was a Console World. And now, I start becoming irritable and personal. There's mosquitoes like crazy. I'm cut. And why can't Alexander or Grant of the Players Aid be doing this? Huh? So, these are maple tree lines. I don't know, there's a few there, I don't know if you could see it. Well, STUKAJOE, that's where we get our maple syrup from. These lines and trees. I wish I was a Console World. And that's an old ancient cabin. Raised to the ground, or fell to the ground. Wish I was a Console World. And in the end, we got no mushrooms. No edible mushrooms.